You can get all of your NECA video game figures at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description down below. Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey, hello there collectors, it's Steven here, and to celebrate the release of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy on the Nintendo Switch, because I actually just found out about that the day it got released. Good job, Activision, on promoting that. I'm going to go ahead and review NECA's Spyro the Dragon, based off of the remastered Trilogy design. Yep, that's a pretty cool design there. So NECA went ahead and tackled Spyro, just like they did Crash Bandicoot, so this way they could give fans the action figure they dreamed of since they were a kid. Here's the problem. It's the new design, not the one we all grew up to know and love, but does that mean we should turn this one away? Let's take a look to see whether or not Spyro here, with his wrongly placed feet, is worth adding into your collection. So, yeah. It should come as no surprise that there was a widespread quality control issue with a NECA product. For Spyro's, we'll go ahead and call them feet. For a good number of them, the front feet and the back feet were placed incorrectly at the factory. So if you open your Spyro up and you see that his front feet have 3 toes and his back have 4, switch them. Because that is correct. I noticed that mine had that a little too late, as I was halfway through the review, and I'm not going back to reshoot half a review. Okay. So when we take a closer look at Spyro here, we can actually see that the detailing on the figure is really fantastic, almost as if Spyro had walked off the screen, with a lot of small attention to details, like some fantastic detailing on the scales. He's going to have some big scales, which are going to be very obvious from far away, but when you get up close and personal, we're going to see some smaller scales that really don't have a lot of paint to them, and that's perfectly okay. That's not an issue. What is a little bit of an issue, though, is that even though the purple on the figure looks mostly fine, there are some issues with some of the transitioning on the legs over to the feet for the purple paint. They went a little bit crazy with the yellow paint, and in some areas it looks a little too pastelish, almost chalky, whereas in other areas it's chipping, and in others it's, it kind of sprayed over a little bit, almost as if the yellow shouldn't be there at all, which is a little concerning considering the fact that the sculpt and the purple paint are fantastic. That doesn't even include the fact that Spyro's eyes are, to put it lightly, beautiful. The detailing is fantastic. Overall, for Spyro, it's very difficult to see that this figure has a downside from far away, but upon looking at it up close, and as you're going to see in the articulation section when I get some paint on my hands, yeah, you can definitely see that NECA could have just stepped up their game a wee little bit more. Spyro's articulation is rather straightforward, and you know what? It's okay. It's also missing a couple of points of articulation that really would have sealed the deal to bring this figure home. What do we have? Well, the head plugs in the neck on a ball joint, so this way we can move Spyro's head around, and we get some great range of movement there. We can get him to look nearly all the way up, down, rock his head from side to side. That's great. There's no problem there. He's actually using what I believe to be a double axis or a barbell style ball joint, with a ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. So this way we can get Spyro to basically look everywhere, and that's where he's going to be the most expressive. There is also a hinge here, so this way we can move Spyro's neck around. Or maybe that is a ball joint, not quite sure. Seems more like a hinge to me, but yeah, we can move Spyro's neck forward and back like that. Now, for the connection points for all of his legs, his shoulders, hips, yeah, they're going to be using ball joints as well. So this way we can move Spyro's little arms forward and his legs back. I think that's the best way to describe it. Forelegs and hind legs. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that works. He does have ball joints there. For his ankles, ankles and wrists, I don't know. He is going to have ball joints, so this way we get a little bit of rocking movement. We can move them a little bit forward, a little bit back. The only thing to keep in mind is that they're not that difficult to switch if you need to switch them out, like I made mention earlier. So yes, when they are on correctly, they are going to work rather well. Hind ones don't really want to move too well, though, for me. Yeah. So there is going to be a joint a ball joint in his ab crunch region. So this way we can turn him a little bit, not too much. But hey, there's something there. We get a fully ball jointed tail and paint that is coming off on Spyro. That's great. And the tip is also on a ball joint, but you don't really need to move it too much. I don't know why you would. But yeah. Then for the wings. They were on hinges. Initially, that's what I thought, just hinges. But they also have swivels, so we can spin the wings around, like so. They were stuck. Heat them up, and you will be good to go, even though they are not even. Yeah. So overall, Spyro's articulation is pretty good. What is really missing, though, is some sort of elbow and or knee movement. That would have been fantastic and would have sealed the deal for this guy. But otherwise, yeah, he's still pretty good. He can fly around. Thumbs up. Now for the accessories, and Spyro doesn't come with anything. Nope. Now, to be fair, he's about $23, and he's a unique sculpt which they may never use again, which is sad. So he doesn't come with anything. Now, the reason why I say that is sad is back when Crash Bandicoot first was released, they pretty much already had 2 and 3 other figures at least teased that they were going to release using the Crash Bandicoot main body. So, hey, they already had their ducks in a row to recoup the cost in the sculpt. Here, not so much. So, if you need a stand, which, a flying character needs, or you want some effect parts to go with your little dragon buddy, I got videos to help you out. Now we're going to move right along on over to a size comparison here, so you can see exactly how big Spyro is with some of the other figures you just might have on your shelf. And congratulations, he should fit in swimmingly with some of your other characters. So if you want to put him in a Smash Brothers display, hey, you can do that. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Spyro's sculpt is fantastic, and generally speaking, the paint application is pretty rock solid. The articulation is rather nice. You can put him into some fun poses, but the fact that he doesn't come with anything like a flight stand or even a little sparks, come on, NECA, you couldn't do that. It's a little disheartening. Yeah. Considering that it doesn't look like there's a good future for Spyro releases, at least at this time, because it is currently the beginning of September. This figure came out a few months ago. Yeah. But for about 25 or so bucks, this is a great purchase, and if you're a Spyro fan, classic or the new design, you can't go wrong with this little guy. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for STR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand-selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand-selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.